All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. As per usual, thank you for joining me. It's just checking something out. I have a window open, so if the noise becomes too much, please let me know. Carrie, thank you for that. Mr. Landfill, thank you for that. Thank you for the 5x5. Anyway, again, thank you guys. Appreciate it. So, tonight's live stream, guys, we're going to talk about uh, this will change everything in seconds. When I mean this, I'm talking about the possible invasion of Taiwan. Now, I know this has been the hot topic for the last few years, but within the last few weeks, it's become a more intense. Right now, I don't. There's a, this administration, guys. I can't figure it out. Right. So there's certain administrations you can figure out that if something happens, it's going to get done. We're going to go to war, or we're gonna talk it out. Right. This administration, I don't know what they're going to do. You have the military generals saying that if we go to war, we could win. I highly doubt it. But then you have American Military News. I guess they're a magazine source. They state that if we go to war with Taiwan, we're going to lose. Now, I don't see how we would win against China, being that they have so many more people to throw at the war. And because they can give incentives to their troops to join, it's an endless source of people they can throw at us. Now look at our military. Our military, guys, is fucked, screwed, shot. We don't have a chance right now with a military because our military men and women are not signing up, and the military is so woke and so broken that nobody wants to sign up. And then you have the other side of the coin of people who don't want to sign up because they're against the military, but you got people who support the military who will not get involved because of the bullshit that's going on. So, as we all know, if you listen to the military's recruiting, they're having a huge problem recruiting people right now. Huge. That's the United States military. Um, and if you look at other militaries, guys, they are not doing what we're doing here. They're not wokenizing it, right? They're not making it comfortable for people. The military is probably the last place on this planet you're supposed to be comfortable in. Unless you're a high-ranking official, you're not supposed to be comfortable. You're not supposed to not get yelled at and find a quiet room and address the person as they, we, us, and she if they're male sex, right? If they're male, sorry. No other military is doing that. I mean, maybe the UK, I don't know, but I know that the Chinese are not doing it. The Russians sure the hell ain't. The Iranians, the Iraqis, they're not doing it. Afghanis are definitely not doing it. Neither the Taliban or any of those other groups. We're the only military, seemingly the only military in the world that's pacifying our military because we let Democrats get a hold of them. I want to throw that out there. Um, so, with that, guys, so I don't work for the company. I don't work for them at all. But a lot of the T-shirts, people like the comments on them. It's by liveread.com, right? So it's live, REID.com. So if you're looking for shirts like this, they got them. I am looking to release my own line of snarky sayings, if you will, as well. But I got to wait on that, right? So anyway, that being said, guys, back to what we were discussing. So if we go to war, sorry, let me walk it back. If China invades Taiwan, the world is going to change in seconds and it's going to change forever, right? The world changed forever, guys, when two planes flew into a building in 9/11. The world changed forever when Mr. 19 spread throughout the world and had officials locking us down. Now, whether you believe in 9/11 or not, whether you believe in COVID-19 or not, it's irrelevant. The world changed based on those events, right? Um, and if China invades Taiwan, the world would have changed again. Now, I don't know in our lifetime or in lifetimes have people experienced these drastic changes? I mean, I guess, right? People that went through the Great Depression and World War II, they experienced, two great changes. And then you had the Civil Rights Movement. So I guess people did experience these great changes. So I guess these great changes are not foreign to the human race. I guess we experience changes all the time. I know for a lot of us, it seemingly feels like, well, not it feels like, it is going downhill. I mean, I guess those changes back then made the country better, and in some cases made the country worse. But we are seemingly in this country getting worse just because of, again, the wokenization of shit that's going on. Now, China wrapped up its war games a couple days ago around Taiwan, practicing for attacks as tensions with the U.S. mount. Now, tensions here, guys, are going up with China. Sorry, the U.S. tensions with China are going up on numerous fronts. So it's not just Taiwan; it's also the financial district, oil, just social policies, or international policies. All of that is going up, and the tensions are going up on that. And then you got these politicians in China making some crazy accusations. I mean, some insane accusations. And I'll get to some of those accusations in a little bit. But right now, I'm going to read a couple things that I read about the war games that were going on in China. So China said Monday that it's wrapped up several days of military exercises that saw it send dozens of warplanes buzzing through, not around, but through Taiwan's airspace in a drill that simulated an attack on the democratical governed island just 100 miles off the coast of China, or China's mainland. The 3-day exercise used live ammunition where practice for a complete encirclement of Taiwan by Chinese military. So according to this drill, they surrounded Taiwan. Now a lot of the drill, especially with the planes, with the warplanes, they were so far off the coast of Taiwan that the Taiwanese couldn't see it. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if China was doing them a favor, but nonetheless, they were still flying through their airspace. Now, I don't know why Taiwan didn't just take that as an act of war and set it off. I guess because they're being diplomatic, because the Chinese gave them a heads up that they were going to do this drill. It wasn't like this drill popped up, but still, that would be like the Chinese running drill in American airspace, and we do nothing about it. Now, yes, I understand Taiwan is a way smaller country than we are, and they're actually sitting ducks. In all intents and purposes, they're sitting in the middle of the ocean unprotected. Now, their military is not the greatest. Their military is small. Their military will get wiped off the map if they go to war with China. Nonetheless, you still got to make the Chinese government feel it, at the very least. Anyway, the drills were clearly meant to demonstrate China's ability to cut off the island from the rest of the world. So now, the encirclement that they did when they circled a wagon around Taiwan, that is obviously a tactical move so that Taiwan doesn't get help. Because for the United States to back Taiwan, they have to go through the Chinese military to get to the island. So this would be a naval warfare. I guess it right around the all the way around. It'd be a naval warfare and aerial as well. There would be warplanes in the sky, going to work. But the Chinese Navy is huge. I think they blow us out of the water. No pun intended. So, where the hell was I? Okay. There were a direct response to Taiwan's president, Tsai Ing, went meeting congressional leaders last week during a stopover in California. So supposedly they were going to South America for some meeting down there. China then warned the U.S. and Tsai against having those meetings and made it clear they would draw a resolution reaction. So the Chinese are threatening the Taiwan president and the United States that they shouldn't be meeting with one another, or the Taiwan president shouldn't be meeting the U.S. government. Which imagine that. Imagine the Chinese threatening, and then they're saying that they're going to come out with a resolute reaction. What resolute reaction would that be? No clue. Because China has warned against this before. This is not a new warning, but nonetheless, I think they're just talking shit at this point. So China also flew fighter jets in airspace claimed by Taiwan, but all of the drills are too far away to be seen from the island. So, to make the point that this had been rehearsed for war, China had to release a video and animation of Taiwanese targets being hit. How pathetic is that? They're like, whoa, we have to show our strength. Let's draw some cartoons and show them how we would attack them. That is like the most childish shit I've ever heard in my life. They're going to run a drill, but to prove a point, because it was so far away, we're going to do cartoons and show how the cartoons would attack your island. That's like the gayest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Anyway, so the next article I read. Oh, by the way, I will put the links of these articles in the comment section. I mean, in the chat. So hopefully you guys get that. All right, it went in. All right, it went in. Sorry. So, next article, conflict with China is inevitable unless the U.S. changes course. Now, according to the Chinese, we are somehow bullying them. Now, I don't know how we're bullying them when they are absolutely bullying the world, China. The Chinese government has been bullying the world probably for the last 10 years, if not 12, especially through way of buying land in other countries and telling people how they can operate and fund movies, even American movies. So the Chinese have been bullies for a long time. They try to make and listen, U.S. is no angel. The U.S. is definitely bullies, but they're no longer the bully of the block. The Chinese are, or at least the Chinese government. Angry pamper for a diplomat to China. Coach, yes, I would be a diplomat for China. I would go over there. I'd be a diplomat for the U.S. and China and fucking set that country on fire. Anyway, with that, guys, in a speech to political delegates Monday, President Xi Jinping, whatever the fuck his name is, also accused the U.S. of trying to fence China in. I don't know what that means. Western countries led by the United States have implemented all-round containment, encirclement, and suppression of China, which has brought unprecedented severe challenges to our country's development. I don't know what the fuck that means. I mean, like, how did we contain, encircle, and suppress China? And how is China having unprecedented severe challenges? They are creating their own problem in their country, I might add. The shit that's going on in China right now that we're not seeing, especially with the protesting that's still going on, with the money that's disappearing because of those real estate companies, that's actually still going on. That being said, they're creating their own problem, but somehow they're blaming us. Now, the Chinese government reeks liberals. They reek liberal, guys. I've never seen such the liberal response from a nation like China. They place blame on everybody else but themselves. They placed blame on India when they had that little tension going on. They placed blame on Taiwan. They placed blame on Hong Kong. And none of it's their fault. It's always everybody else. So when people do that and they blame everybody else but themselves, there's something to be said about that nation. Anyway, back to the bullshit. All right, so where the fuck were we? All right, so Quinn also criticized Washington, and Quinn is a politician in China. Also criticized Washington's decision earlier last month to shoot down unsuspected Chinese spy balloons off the coast of South Carolina, repeating Beijing's insistence that it appeared over U.S. territory by accident. Here we go again with the bullshit. The U.S. side, I don't get this. United States side violated the spirit of international laws and international practices by making presumption of guilt, overreacting, and abusing force, and making use of the issue to create a diplomatic crisis that could have been avoided. This is what Quinn said, or Quan, however the fuck you say it. I don't know, fucking duck salt, dong wai wai. Who the fuck knows what his name is? But anyway, he's accusing us of breaking international laws when they broke international laws. Even on accident, they still broke international laws by flying that balloon over here on accident. Anyway, Quinn said the U.S. disrespected China's sovereignty and territorial integrity by providing defense weapons to the island of Taiwan, which Beijing has said it could take by force if necessary. So now, being that we gave Taiwan some weapons, now we disrespected China's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Again, they sound like raging Karens right now. There's a bunch of angry Chinese Karens in China carrying on and placing blame on the United States. I don't understand. Maybe it's not for me to understand. I'm just supposed to sit here and read it like a drone, like the reporters used to do back in the 70s, 80s, and up to the 90s and early 2000s. They just sat there and read like drones with no emotions and no point of view. But this isn't that fucking channel, so fuck those people. Anyway, military exercise suggests, this is another article. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I'm going to link this article with the conflict with China's inevitable. All right. So moving on to the next article. Military exercises suggest China is getting ready to launch war against Taiwan. Now, this is the Taiwanese government stating that they are gearing up for war. Now, we all know they've been gearing up for war for quite some time. They've been gearing up to war with Taiwan for a long time, probably since we were kids. But that being said, why did they wait so long? Well, from what I've read a few months ago, China has waited this long because they wanted to get their ducks in a row, meaning they wanted to get their financial situation squared away. They wanted to get their navy built to where it is. They wanted to partner with Russia officially. And now that all of those things are happening, war is suspected to be around 2025, 2027. But the way everything's heating up, it could be sooner. So, in this article, I don't know, written by some fucking dude or chick, whoever the fuck it is. One day, China simulated a joint precision strike on Taiwan during a military exercise around the island. Taiwan's foreign minister, Joseph Wu, I thought it would have been a little more Asian than Joseph, condemned Beijing's action in an exclusive interview with CNN, the liberal fucking media of the world, and warned that they seem to be trying to get ready to launch a war against Taiwan. Now, that drill, the way they ran that drill, or the exercise, if you will, would suggest that they're going to war with Taiwan very soon. Look at the military exercise and also their rhetoric. They seem to be trying to get ready to launch a war against Taiwan. This is what Wu said. The Taiwanese government looked at the Chinese military threat as something that cannot be accepted, and we condemn it. This is what Wu said. I don't know if the United States made a comment on it. I'm pretty sure they did, but that's all anybody's doing. They're just making comments on it. There's no action being taken. And it's not like we could leverage anything against China. We don't have anything to leverage against them, right? I mean, we could stop taking a lot of their shit. That would make problems hard. That would hit China in the pocket. But China knows that they have the United States by the balls when it comes to supply. Ask if Taiwan has any sense of timing of potential Chinese military action, given U.S. intelligence assessment that Xi Jinping, whatever the fuck his name is, has instructed his military to prepare by 2027. Wu expressed confidence in Taiwanese preparation. Now, that's according to the Chinese president, that he wants their military to be ready by 2027. There was a general that said that we would be at war in 2025. I think telling your military to be ready by 2027, they're going to prepare an earlier attack. Maybe by 2025, maybe by next year. Hell, maybe by later this year. But it could be, again, a ruse to get everybody, oh, we got 2 years to get this shit. Wait, We got 3 years to get this, 4 years, sorry, to get this shit ready. I'm bad at math. We got 4 years to get this ready, guys. And then they attacked later this year. Everybody's like, what the fuck? They said they were going to attack later. It could be that, right? China and Russia are the greatest liars of the world alongside the United States. But right now, as far as lying goes, China and Russia are taking the stage. China already said have more kids. Rapture ready. Okay. So maybe, and that would make sense, Rapture ready, that they said they have more kids. But those kids are not going to be war combat ready for another, at the very least, 15 years. They are training their kids over there right now, guys, how to disassemble firearms and assemble and clean. They are, and this is in China, and this is not in every school in China, but this is a lot of schools in China that are preparing the kids to go to war. Now, I don't know if they're going to have little Quan running around with a fucking rifle and a handgun at 8 years old. I don't know. But nonetheless, they're getting their kids ready for it. Meanwhile, we are telling our kids guns are bad, and instead of picking up a gun, pick up some eyeliner. This is what we're teaching our kids here in the United States. But anyway, it just makes my stomach fuck. It turns my stomach to know that other countries are preparing their kids for hardship, and we're teaching our kids to fucking dance to RuPaul. Go fucking figure, man. Anyway, Beijing described, sorry. All right. Beijing described them as a serious warning against Taiwan's separatist forces. So they think that anybody that stands against Beijing is a separatist force. So that's the whole country. Collusion with external forces and a necessary move to defend national sovereignty and integrity. So this is coming out of China. They don't want them to collude with outside forces, the United States. This is what Wu says in a following statement to CNN. China cannot dictate how Taiwan makes friends, and China cannot dictate how our friends want to show support. China is losing their fucking minds. I don't know why they would make a statement like that and why they would make such a brazen statement. But, yeah. Anyway, however, China's ruling Communist Party claims that self-governing island adds its territory. And in recent years, as its power has grown, Chinese leader Xi Jinping has made it clear his ambition to reunite the island if force is necessary, or by force if necessary. Sorry. So he wants to reunite the country by force. That means he's going to attack. That's like, whatever. We all saw that coming, guys. It's not going to be a surprise. But how is it going to change the dynamic of this country? It all depends on how we respond to that attack. Some of us, I seem to think we won't respond. I think we'll flounder and we'll drag our feet. But if we do respond, it's an all-out war. And it's not just a war against China, guys. It's also a war against Russia and every other ally that the Chinese have. We will undoubtedly be by ourselves. The French, as per usual, are going to leave us floundering in the waters on our own. They're not going to step up to bat with us, as Macron said something similar to that a couple of days ago. Not going along with the United States. I'm paraphrasing. So that in itself, the French already throwing up their surrender flag like the pussies they are. And that's the French government, not the French people. The French people are fucking giving it to the French government. So anyway, guys, I dropped that link to the article. I dropped the link to this article in the chat. So, as tensions between the U.S. and China have worsened over Taiwan, President Joe Biden said that the United States would defend the island militarily if China were to attack, though administration officials have insisted that the U.S. remains committed to the One China policy. Here's what the One China policy is, guys. It is a diplomatic acknowledgement of China's position that there is only one Chinese government. Under the policy, the U.S. recognizes and has formal ties with China rather than the island of Taiwan, which the Chinese sees as a breakaway province to be unified with the mainland one day. So, how does the U.S. administration go? We are observing the one China policy, but then turn around and go, well, we're going to protect Taiwan militarily. So, the one China policy is a key cornerstone of Sino-U.S. relations. I hadn't even looked that up. It's also the fundamental bedrock of the Chinese policy making and diplomacy. However, it is a distinct one from the one China principle, whereby China insists Taiwan is an inalienable part of China to be unified one day. They love to unify this country one day. That's all they've been talking about is unifying this fucking country in the last 8 articles I read on this shit. But I'm not going to go there. Let's see. The U.S. policy is not an endorsement of Beijing's position, and indeed, as part of the policy, Washington maintains a robust, unofficial relationship with Taiwan, including continuing arms sales to the island so that they can defend itself. Now, guys, there is no amount of weapons we can give Taiwan that they're going to win this fight. It just isn't. We can give them a fucking atom bomb, a nuclear bomb, a stun ray. We can give them the fucking USS Enterprise. They are not going to win this war. They just can't. They don't have the manpower to do so. Now, with that being said, there have been battles where one guy has taken on an entire armada of soldiers. There was the one in Japan. What was the Iwo Jima? The one where the guy was holding off the Japanese invaders with guns, with cannons, and this is World War II, if I'm not mistaken, or just before during World War II, matter of fact, and he was holding off the Japanese with 4 gunners, and he was operating it by himself. His men have gotten injured, hurt, blown up, shot, and this guy was operating anywhere between 3 to 4 cannons on his own, holding them back till reinforcements showed up. The guy's obviously got a distinguishing medal or whatever those medals they give fucking, military guys. And I remember reading that story in a book called, I think it was called The Crucible, about the United States Marine Corps Crucible, that little thing they do at the end of military training or Marine Corps training. And that was one story I read about that. Then there was also this one story in China when some province was attacking a Chinese kingdom. And the Chinese king sat in the middle of the courtyard. This big courtyard, sprawling, guys, something like 20 square blocks big. And he sat dead square in the middle. And the invading forces came in through the gate, saw him sitting there by himself. They looked around, and they didn't trust it, and they all left. They thought they were being set up for an ambush. So I thought that was pretty cool. So it has been done, and it can be done. But in this case, it will not be done. The Taiwanese government will lose. Even if the United States makes it the help, they can't win this one. I don't even think we can. And if the Russians get involved, we definitely can. The United Kingdom might give us some support. Australia might give us some support. New Zealand might give us some support. But still, with all of those supports, we still wouldn't win. They just have the numbers. And being that we are on a birth rate decline here in the United States, we are not producing enough kids. Why are we not producing enough kids? Because somewhere along the lines in the 80s and or the 90s, we told kids to stay kids longer. We told our kids to live with us longer. We told our kids, hey, you don't have to grow up till you're 5 years old. Oh, don't have any kids. You're too young. But I'm 35, Mom. You're too young. You don't know what you're doing. And we had that rhetoric in this country for the last 20 to 30 years. Now we're paying for it because we have a lot of man-childs and women-child running around still trying to fucking live vicariously through I don't know what and go to shit called adult camp, where they have adult sleepaway camp for retarded adults who missed out on their childhood. So they're bouncing around on bouncing balls, endless sex, swinging through the fucking forest like Tarzan because they wanted to be fucking kids just a little bit longer. And this is where this country has gone. We've gone full retard. So other countries, they're doing the right thing. They're doing what we're supposed to do. They're having kids, they're raising families, they're getting married, and they're not having adult day camp. So, anyway, fear of family court. And that's the other thing. We make marriage such a bad thing now because marriage, guys, marriage is a fight. Marriage will always be a fight. Marriage is not something you walk into, you take for granted like I have, and you don't take it for granted and you fight for it. And we don't do that in this country. In other countries, they fight for it. And in some cases, they're just, that's the way, their way of life. They don't fucking, they will not get a divorce. So in this country, we made marriage bad. So you got people not wanting to get married. You got, we made having kids bad. So people don't want to have kids. We told our fucking man-child adults to stay home. Why live out on your own? Why don't you live under the roof of your parents? So, yeah, now we got a nation of pussies. And then, unfortunately, the prepping artists, we're making abortion the go-to instead of telling people to have safe sex. Right? Now, me personally, when I had my kids, I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was getting into. So when the mothers ended up pregnant, I was like, I will deal with it. And I did. And because I don't believe in abortion, that is why. And if you use abortion as a birth control, like they are pushing today, that's the other problem we're having. People are like, well, I can get pregnant and just scrape it out of me. So in other countries, you don't hear them pushing it the way we're pushing it here. To boot, we're also pushing weak parenting skills. Thank you for that, Henry. We're also pushing pharmaceutical drugs to figure out all our problems. You do not see this in other countries, guys. You do not see other countries pushing pharmaceutical needs like we do here. Oh my God, does your left toe itch at midnight? You need to take this pill. Does your back itch every time you watch Friends? You need to take this pill. We are a hypochondriac nation, or a nation of hypochondriacs, rather. Sorry. All we want to do, guys, is sit there and embrace our illnesses and not our strengths. How many people, and I know this is going to hit a nerve for a lot of you, but how many people sit there and embrace, or not embrace, but wear their anxiety like a badge of honor? We have gone wrong when we started embracing, and there's one thing to embrace your illnesses, but there's another thing to wear it like a badge of honor. I suffer from anxiety. This is why I don't go out and I don't do anything. Stop being a fucking pussy and get over the anxiety. There's anxiety all over the world and people deal with it. They get over it. But in this country, we're teaching people not to get over it, but to embrace it and to wear it like a fucking armor. And to use that as an excuse for everything that goes wrong in your life. Everything that goes wrong in your life is not fucking your illness. It's not your anxiety. It's not your fear of wanting to get to know people. That's because you let the pharmaceutical companies get in your head. How many people like, I have high blood pressure? You can change your high blood pressure, guys, or lower your high blood pressure through diet. Simple. But instead, you let the pharmaceutical companies with their commercial convince you need their drugs. So there you are, sitting in front of the doctor's office asking for high blood pressure medication and anxiety pills. Anxiety, guys, is a racket. It's a market. It's like fucking cancer. But people don't want to they don't want to make that connection. They don't want to be like, whoa. They're making money off my anxiety. They absolutely are. There are 1,001 ways you could fix your anxiety, including diet, including what you watch on TV, how much time you spend on social media. This can all be corrected. But instead, we want to run to the doctor and fucking get smacked in the face with the doctor's prescription dick and fucking suck whatever medication is going to come out of that. Because we refuse to just look in the mirror and go, you know what? I'm not going to let anxiety take over today. I'm going to fix it and not rely on the doctor. Because I'm going to tell you right now, guys, for a lot of you people who are dependent on medication that could be corrected through way of doctor and or behavior, you are going to suffer when the chips fall. When we actually go through an oh shit Mad Max reset, you're going to sit there and go, what am I going to do for my anxiety pills? You should be getting off your medication today, not tomorrow. Thank you for bringing that up. Someone just said victim nation. Sojourner, exactly. We are a victim nation. We want everything to be the woe is me and oh my God. You know that I can't get on a plane because I'm scared to fly. I fucking hate flying. I get on a plane. Every time I get on a plane, I think about the scene from Fight Club. I look out the window and I go, the only thing holding us up is fucking air and movement. That's it. If one or the other stops, not air, but movement, we're falling out of the sky. I can't fucking stand flying, but I get on a plane fucking anyway. You know, if I get a little anxious about flying, you know what I do? I suck it the fuck up. That's what we do, guys. You suck it the fuck up. Jason, yeah, you pound out your anxiety, you fucking move forward, guys. If you have diabetic issues, you better figure out a way how to correct your diet now and not then, when the fucking chips are down or when the SHTF happens. You don't want to figure this stuff out. Guys, 90% of our problems, or 90% of our problems in relations to high blood pressure, diabetes, anxiety, some social disorder, is due to fucking diet and the way we react to the internet, computer, technology. That shit is why they keep us sick. The blue screen on our fucking computers, on our cell phones, it's made to keep us awake. It's made to cause insomnia so that we can, again, turn to the doctor and be like, hey, doc, I can't sleep. Could you give me something? Without batting an eyelash, the doctor's going to be like, here you go. Here goes some insomnia medications. I don't know what's out there now. You better figure it the fuck out. Because when the shit collapses, you're going to suffer. Your anxiety is going to take a hold of you. Your insomnia is going to fucking destroy you. Your diabetes and your high blood pressure is going to kill you. Did I go on a medical rant? I do apologize for that. But I find it interesting, guys, that a lot of us preppers on here are still dependent on the medical system. We're still dependent on medication. You can't be a prepper and you cannot be totally free of the system until you break away from the system, until you stop relying on the system. Listen, I have to make my medical rounds. I know I've been putting off something that I've been putting off for months, and I got to go and get it done. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I was ever diagnosed with cancer something tomorrow, or not even tomorrow, the second after I find out I was diagnosed with cancer, I'm going to be figuring the shit out, how to do it as natural as possible without chemotherapy or any kind of fucking drugs. That's what I'd be doing. Mario Outdoors, thank you for the donation. Thank you for the donation. Like a 1-year depression. As a registered nurse, I say a large portion of the population is too spoiled to tolerate minor long-term SHTF. Yeah. I agree with that. Yardbirds. Yeah, I will. And my mother's been telling me to do it. I'm like, I will. You know, I spoke to a guy about, and I don't mean to make this the colonoscopy hour, but I'm going to talk about it real quick. Especially for black men over the age of 40. What's his name? From Black Panther. He died. And after that, I was like, nope, I don't want to do that. I don't want to die like that. I don't want to look like that. So that being said, guys, yeah, you gotta get your colonoscopy. And if you're just a man in general that eats a lot of meat, go get your fucking colonoscopy. Don't wait. Now, I'm one to fucking talk. I've been putting off my colonoscopy for like 2 months now. So I guess tomorrow I will call them up and schedule for next week. Ben Snowden, thank you for the donation. But guys, I spoke to a guy in Mississippi, and we were talking about colonoscopy. He's like, I'm not getting that done. I'm not getting anything put up my ass. I'm like, you want to die of cancer? And he goes, I'll be okay. He goes, if I get cancer, so be it. I said, listen, fuckface, you don't understand how fucking serious a colonoscopy stomach cancer or anal cancer is. It is painful. It is one of those things where you'll turn around and you'll go, I wish I would have got the colonoscopy 5 years ago. Right? So, again, it's nothing to play with. Go and fucking get it. Schedule it today. Or not today. It's a little late now. You're not going to call up your doc. Hey, doc! Call him up at home. I need a colonoscopy. He's going to be, you fucking kidding me? Hang up the phone and call me back tomorrow morning. So call tomorrow morning if you guys need it. And guys, if you get a colonoscopy, you don't have to tell anybody. Simple. You don't. I know a lot of guys are like, I don't want anything shoved up my ass. You think I fucking do? But nonetheless, you need it. But if you are worried about that aspect, just don't say anything. Don't tell anybody, man. It's as simple as that. It's a necessity, unfortunately. And listen, I can't wait for the days of Star Trek where they just wave a wand over you and go, oh, you got polyps. We'll get them removed. And they go ding, ding, ding. And then they hit a button and it removes itself. How the fuck it does. But Star Trek technology and the way we do shit now is so archaic or barbaric now that I can't wait for that. That wand shit over the stomach. And, oh, you're fucking pregnant. But I'm a guy. Well, you're pregnant. Like whatever it is. Nonetheless, guys, go get a colonoscopy and get a fucking pole shoved up your ass. It's better to get a pole shoved up your ass than it is to get your fucking intestines and or prostate removed. There's that. So I put a nice dressing on it, if you will. So, with that, guys, back to the subject at hand. Sorry about that colonoscopy rant. My bad. But back at hand, will we see a Cold War with China or an actual war with China? Now, if we see a Cold War with China, we are suspected to see a balkanized economy grow, if that makes sense. A balkanized global economy, sorry, if we have a Cold War with China. Now, some will argue that we're having a Cold War with them now, and some argue that we don't. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it is. But Naval Rubini warns new Cold War with China will balkanize global economy. Now, balkanizing it would mean, guys, that the economy would fragment into smaller currencies like we are seeing now. We are seeing these countries break away from the U.S. dollar. Now, are they breaking away from the U.S. dollar completely? No. They're just not using it as their default like they used to. And other countries are leaving the U.S. dollar altogether. So there is that. Deborah, thank you for the donation to Cash App. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation, as per usual, guys. I do appreciate it. I did see another one. Ben Snowden, yeah, you, and then Mario. Thank you for the donations. Appreciate it. Now, for those of you wondering about Cash App, in case you're wondering, Cash App is better because Cash App is 100% donation, whereas YouTube takes out 30%, and then somebody said 40. I don't know what it is. Now, the problem with YouTube, when you guys donate, it's not really my money, but it's yours. So if you want 100% to go to me, it can go through PayPal or Cash App. Through YouTube, I lose 30%. Now, when I get the YouTube pay, I don't argue that. People are like, well, they take 30% of our pay. Not my platforms. I don't care. I didn't know. Like I said, I told you guys before. I'll say it again. I didn't know I can get paid for doing this shit. When I found out I can get paid for doing this, I was like, yeah, that's a fucking nice bonus. But nonetheless, yeah. So that's that. And in case you guys are wondering, YouTube does take out 30%. Whatever. So, guys, next subject we're going to talk about real quick is the 18,000 cattle that were killed in an explosion. I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck that happened. I'm really trying to figure out how that explosion killed. Now, I know that explosion went off and the cows caught fire. I get that. FSP, thank you for the donation. I get that. I get that they caught fire, and they said that the cattle were roasting alive. My problem with this is how the fuck did 18,000 cattle get caught and no one freed them. They didn't unlock a gate or some shit. Like, I don't know what the setup is, but I just don't understand how they died. And even Kathy, even with smoke inhalation, how did they die? Like, how come they weren't freed? How come they weren't released? You know? So something just doesn't seem right. Direct energy beam. I don't know, man. It's just the story doesn't make sense. All right. Yeah, so I don't know. It's again, guys, 18,000, and like again, they're I don't know. Like, I would like to see the facility and be like, how the fuck did this happen? How did eight like I get that if a few thousand died, but 18,000, that's like unheard of, super unheard of, guys. Insurance job, I don't know. Insurance job, I don't know, man. I don't know what it would be, but and it was dairy. I know there were dairy cows, but still, man, you know, like 18,000. And then like one person described it again. They were getting roasted, and one person did get hurt. I don't know how badly. They said it was stable, so maybe it wasn't bad at all. I don't know. Yeah, killing it. Maybe the cows were smoking. I mean, killing it. Papa Bones. Maybe the cows were smoking crack like fucking Richard Pryor. They were freebasing or some shit. Who knows? But it just doesn't sit right that that many cows died and there was no way for them to be released out of the pens. That's what's more confusing, and that's what when you look at it that way, you're like, this had to be a setup of some kind. Had to be. Or, thank you for bringing it up, James. Or they farted all at once and the methane set them on fire. I set that out there. I'm pretty sure they're going to use that as an excuse. Oh, all right, guys. So anyway, I was going to do the angry truth tonight. I think I'm going to cancel it. I'll let you guys know in a few minutes. I got insanely fucking nauseous just now. Don't know why. Numa Chan, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking dying. No, just kidding. I maybe I shouldn't have had what I had earlier, and I was second guessing it. I was like, maybe I shouldn't eat it, but it's yeah. Cow farts go boom. Methane, yeah, probably. Spam in the air, probably the smell of spam. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Somebody, Maggie, I'll have it. It'll start a little late, but I'll have it. If I'm fucking in the toilet puking in a couple minutes, I'll still hold. I'll probably end this early and then start that on time. Bubble World, yeah, you wish I was pregnant. Wouldn't you wish I was pregnant? Another me being born? Forget about it. Two fucking Charleses, Jason Charleses. Like, my kids don't have my intensity, you know. So no such luck. Well, maybe one of my kids, one of my boys will. My daughter has my attitude, that's for sure. But yeah, they don't have the intensity like the loose mouth I have and the shit that I say. Yeah, they definitely don't. But anyway, back to the 18,000 cattle, guys. It just rings suspicious. That's all. It rings. Some kind of investigation needs to be done. I don't know. Congratulations on what? Me being pregnant? Oh boy. I don't know. Just like I said, it just felt really nauseous all of a sudden. As I was talking about it, I started getting nauseous. So I don't know what the fuck that had to do with it, but it was pretty bad. Yeah, if I was pregnant, guys, forget it, man. First of all, the fucking world would pay for it. Remember that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Was it 9 months? Was that the name of it? The one where he was pregnant? Yeah. If I was pregnant, the world would fucking die. But anyway, Adriana, I didn't eat too much. I ate, so I'm on a diet where I'm eating I weigh my food. I weigh it and I pack it, so I didn't eat too much. If anything, I eaten like a fucking bird, man. I'm tired of this bird eating shit. Fucking like I want to have a real meal, and maybe I'm getting cranky over that shit. Who knows, man? Junior, thank you, and it was Junior. 9 months was the movie with that British actor. That's what it was. 9 months was the movie with the British actor, and then this is Junior was the name of it. Exactly. And of course now science is trying to figure out how to do it. Right? They looked at the movie Junior and they were like, well, let's see if we can do it. Then they put it to bed, and then now they're talking about doing it again because of all these transgender morons talking about, I want to get pregnant. I want to experience womanhood by getting pregnant and having a period. God, the fact that we are entertaining this. We're entertaining trying to get men legitimately pregnant and trying to see if they can have their period. These idiots suffer menstrual cramps or cramps. Sorry. They suffer cramps because of the meds that they're on. That's why they're suffering the cramps. They're not having periods. And they're going, I had my first. No, you didn't, dickface. You didn't have your first anything. You didn't have a period. You didn't bleed. You don't know what it's like to be to bleed. I don't understand how we ended up here. Listen, man, I almost want the fucking good old days back, man. Like, that's how, I mean, like, you know, where everybody was in their respective corners and fucking white people like, hey, what's going on, nigga? And I was like, hey, what's going on, cracker? Like, that's where I wish we were at this point. And not here, where everything is fucking so-called equal, which is not equal, actually, guys. Inclusivity and inclusiveness, is not a thing. There's no such thing as being inclusive. Because to be inclusive means you have to exclude someone. You eventually will. That's just how it works. There's never such thing as everybody's included. You can't. This isn't fucking school or elementary school where everybody was treated the same and equals. We're not equals. We're all fucking different. But whatever. These people seem to think so. Seem to think that everybody needs to be included in everything. No, they don't. I'm sorry. This channel, like I said before, does not include a lot of motherfuckers, especially people with sensitive ass ears, right? I tell people all the time, I curse like a fucking sailor, and they're like, oh my God, he curses. I can't watch this. The Lord's gonna strike him with thunder. You know how many times I fucking had to hear that bullshit because I curse? You know, so this channel isn't for everyone. And that's what it's supposed to be, not for everyone. So, guys, with that being said, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. This is possibly the closest I've ever had my thumbs up, thumbs down ratio. This is pretty cool. Stop cursing, dude, please. Someone said stop cursing. Maggie, what happened to stoic men? They fucking died. That's what happened. This world killed them. Sorry. This country killed them. Country killed it flat. Because we're trying to be gentler men now. Whatever the fuck that means. Not a gentleman. Not a gentleman. You're fucking supposed to be a man. And women are supposed to be women. Now, yes, I like a fucking woman with some grit. Absolutely. I don't like a pushover for a woman. At the very least, if she's going to be a pushover, at the very least be a savage in bed. One or the other. You can't be a pushover in the world and pushover in the bedroom. You got to be one or the other or both. Be a savage in bed and be a savage out in the world, but have some grit, right? But yeah. Anyway, yeah. You know, a lot of guys are like, "Oh, bring back the fanny packs." Listen, the fanny pack thing. The guys are wearing it across their chest now, and they're like, "It's not a fanny pack. It's a fucking fanny pack." I don't care what you tell me. It's a fanny pack. That stupid thing you see rappers wearing it, they're like, yo, and they're rapping in the video, and they got the fanny pack across their chest, right? Because it goes like this, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yo, it's a fucking fanny pack, dude. And they're like, well, it's not a fanny pack. It's called, and I forgot what they call it. I don't want to know what they call it. But it's a fanny pack across your chest, man. You're just fucking, and I'm like, and you want to ask guys, I'm like, yo, dude, what do you got in that? You got tampons? Because, I mean, like, why would you be wearing that? Or, oh, wait a minute, you're gay. It's either you're gay or you're fucking transitioning to a woman. It's not even a merce. I don't even know what the fuck it is. Is it a merce? Is it really a merce? Is that what they're calling it? No, they can't be calling it that. I hope they're not calling it that. A manny pack? Breastplate. Wolf Mule says I'm buffering. Buffering. I'm not buffering on my end, but sorry. But whatever, guys. Either way, it's fucking stupid. You know, and you just see guys like, and it's crazy because you watch the couple rappers wear it, and I see it, and I'm like, these motherfuckers are gonna be wearing it in the street. And lo and behold, about a month later or so, you see dudes walking down the street, and I'm like, and they're holding their hands with their girl. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? How did that become the symbol of manhood? And women are walking by their man with a fanny pack across their chest. Ugh. I saw a guy walking with his girlfriend, by the way, when his girlfriend was pretty hot. It was almost like the Rachel Ross Friends dynamic, right? The hot girl with the sloppily looking dude. Same thing. But this guy had a purse. A purse. A fucking Louis Vuitton, whatever the fuck it was. Like one of those man purses. He was just like, he was walking, they were holding hands. I was like, maybe he's retarded and that's why she's holding his hand. Because that's the only thing I could think of. I'm like, why the fuck is she with him? And why the fuck is she with him with that purse? It's like a double whammy, man. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? How is this happening? You know? But that's here in New York. You won't see that shit anywhere else but New York, maybe California. No, definitely California. Definitely Austin, Texas. But yeah, man. It's a fucking, maybe she's a lesbian. Yeah, okay, there is that. Maybe he was so feminized that she was like, it's like being with a chick. So there. It could have been that. I don't know. I don't know. Project Mayhem. I like that, by the way. That's a good one. Project Mayhem. And for those of you, see if you guys can figure out where he got the Project Mayhem name from. Let's see how many of you are really good movie fanatics. But yeah, Project Mayhem. I talked about Bud Light on the Angry Truth channel. Sorry, drew a blank. Jason, of course. Of course, Jason and Slim Shady would figure it out. Black Flag. All right, so you guys are really good. Yeah, Fight Club. I like that. Project Mayhem. That's pretty cool. 2 minutes. Roger that, Maggie. All right. So, it's a gay pack. I don't listen, guys. I don't know what it is. It's just, it looks stupid. And especially when they're rapping in the videos and they're like, yeah, fanny pack, yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? And again, guys, I'm old. I'm 45. I might as well be 65 because the shit I complain about is the shit some old man complains about. Because I'm like, listen, I was complaining about these kids and their style probably about 10, 15 years ago when they were walking around with their pants around their ankles, which you still see. Sometimes you want to, pull that shit up. What's the fucking point in keeping your... Again, going to my old man rant. It's time for me to drink my Folgers coffee and go to sleep. But I got another show to do tonight. So, yeah. That's where we are. Anyway, guys. The link to my exercise channel. Hold on. Which, guys, I am bringing back. I know I've been on a 2-week hiatus. Because, I was, out and about. But it's in the chat, guys. The link to the and the link to my other channels, guys, will be in the description section below once this is established. Other than that, guys, it is 10 o'clock. You guys will know whether or not I'm going to be back on in another 5-10 minutes. All right. So some of you guys will join me on the Angry Truth channel. The rest of you, I will see you guys next week, Tuesday. So I'm going to try to keep it Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Tuesdays, Angry Prepper, Angry Truth. Wednesday Midweek Report. Thursdays, Angry Truth, Angry Prepper. We're going to try to keep that flow going so that I have something stable because I need something stable in my life. You guys that constantly watch me. Anyway, with that being said, guys, thank you and see you guys in the next